Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 26 of The Independent Agent on this glorious, beautiful, sunny day. I'm Jordan. Justin's smiling at me and gazing into my eyes.
Week 3 of my protest.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're on a Michelob Ultra protest. Not going to go into that because you can go listen to the past couple of weeks, and he whines a lot about it. He's defeated.
Not defeated. I'm overcoming.
Okay. However we want to spin that. Okay, so our drink today. So Haley and I have been getting these. If you can hear that, that's the trash truck right outside our door right now. So if we've been getting in quarantine these farm fresh to you boxes, right, where it's like local farmers, and they started delivering kiwis, and I forgot how much I love kiwis. Like, they are probably the best fruit that's out there. They're absolutely incredible. So I wanted to try, because I've never had one, a kiwi cocktail. So this one is called Tekiwi. It's not the most clever of names, but it's tequila and kiwi and a little lime, a little Grand Marnier, and a dash of simple syrup. And the kiwi is muddled in there. And yeah, we use some Blanco tequila.
So I want to take a moment because I think it's an appropriate time to take this moment.
Okay.
Our father,
Who art in heaven?
Steve Goodman, will not eat strawberries because of the hair on the strawberries.
Correct.
He will eat a kiwi, though.
I don't think you're right. You were saying that to Haley. I think you're wrong. It's grain, Justin. He doesn't. I think that was Mom that liked it.
No, he'll have a salad with Heinz 57 sauce on it.
He will. Or soy
with
sauce.
cucumbers. He eats cucumbers, too.
He eats cucumbers. See? My dad will take radishes, just whole, and pop up like they're candy. But yeah, no, he'll do a salad. We'll go to a restaurant and go, I just want lettuce, carrots, radishes, and then he doesn't even ask anymore. He just brings his own bottle of soy sauce or Heinz 57. He keeps it in his car, little packets and things like that. But he doesn't eat green things unless lettuce. He will never eat cheese unless it's a cheese pizza. Then he eats the cheese on it. Otherwise, cheese is disgusting to him.
And I don't think our mom eats anything but cheese.
Right. She eats cookies too.
Yeah.
Growing up, we always had cantaloupe and watermelon for dinner, though. Like, I feel like that's the only part that and that. Actually, it reminded me today. Haley has some like a pork roast that she wants to do. And I thought of Mom's shake and bake pork chops that she used to do.
They were amazing. That's how I thought they were supposed to be.
They were awful. Awful.
Anytime I eat at a restaurant now, if I actually have that, I'm so disappointed because it doesn't taste like Mom used to make.
It's so gross. So, actually, I don't think, like, I won't order pork anywhere. I think because of that, because it messed me up. Like,
but do you like rice-a-roni? Did you like our rice-a-roni we used to have?
Not really. I didn't eat much until like I met Haley, and then she started. Like, I used to not think I liked steak, right? Because
Mom told you liked it well done.
Yeah, like everything had to be hockey pucked.
It's kind of like she used to tell every. I went for years. I love baby back ribs, but my mom would tell everybody he doesn't like it with the sauce on there. And I just didn't know. And so I just assumed I didn't until one day I tried it with sauce, and then I realized I've been deprived for so many years.
Yeah. She would tell, when we would order all the time, she would always amend our order to the waiter or waitress. Just crazy. Anyway.
All right.
Let's try this drink.
Oh, yeah. First taste of my kiwi, because I think I've only had a kiwi like once in my life. Yeah, I'm not as partial to this drink.
Actually, this is pretty good. It reminds me of, I wonder, we should make that next time. This tastes similar to when we go down to Cabo. They have a drink at Esperanza called the Cabo Green. And that one's got like a whole bunch of like vegetables and stuff in it too, but it's magnificent. And this tastes very, very similar to it.
I feel like I've just gotten a nectar and I'm drinking one of their green drinks, trying to stay healthy.
Haley, this tastes a lot like the Cabo Green.
Okay, I'll come taste it in a second.
Okay.
All right, question 1. What are the top qualities and qualifications you are looking for right now for both brand new to the industry hires and also those with a few years worth of experience?
Brand new. I want someone who is smart and capable and hardworking. I guess everyone says they want that. I don't care about college education. I guess high school education would be nice. College, I would only use it as a test nowadays to determine whether or not they can stick with something. But I also anticipate a lot of people not sticking with this job long term, once they get into it, because a lot of people come in the insurance business and realize, hey, there's something else I might want to do in my life. And a lot of people love it too. But I want to see people utilize their brain. Someone who can use critical thinking skills, and really come up with new ideas that I haven't thought of. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And it's particularly, it depends on what role it is. If they are going to be like a CSR or an account manager, they need to be capable of doing the same job day in, day out for these cycles all over. Now, not that producing is that much different, but producing, you still deal with those cycles, but you're obviously you're out in the field, you're meeting with people. It's just a different role. Was it said new or
Experience.
Experience. I want to make sure they don't have bad habits and that they're willing to change. Because especially at our office, we are a niche agency. We've built it out very systematically utilizing technology, of which I'll give Justin most of the credit on that.
Thank you.
And by giving him credit, I mean he told Linda what it should do, and then Linda made it happen.
Hey, I looked something up on Google.
Yeah. No, but Justin's been super intentional about making sure that we have a streamlined process. And so we have a best practices. Actually, a lot of that goes back to Janice, too. We had an account manager or an account executive with us.
She was my fairy godmother.
She's incredible. She's retired now. We need to check in with her. Have you heard from her since all this happened?
I have done a terrible job checking in, although I know she's having knee surgery, or whenever she's allowed to have a knee surgery again.
Yeah. Gosh. Okay, we're on tangents right now. But if I'm going to bring on a new producer or a producer that's experienced, they're not coming unless they have a book. So that's my perspective there.
New, they need to be able to write. They need to be able to leverage technology, and they have to have critical thinking skills. Past that, we can train all of that. It's not an issue. Experienced, the ability to adapt to change, the ability to work with others. That emotional IQ is a big skill set that you need not only for the client-facing relationships, but the interpersonal relationships within the office. I think that person also should be open to the fact that this industry is constantly changing. Case law impacts insurance coverage. And if you don't have that person who's hungry, willing to learn, it's a problem, because even as much as I try and stay up to date on coverage and case law, I am a step removed from a lot of that stuff. And so we were discussing on the training side some additional insured endorsement issues this morning. And Jordan had brought up a form, and I hadn't seen it before. And who do we need to turn to? My account executive, who has seen the form come across her desk, versus me, who's not as close to that anymore. So I want someone who is constantly searching out, seeking information. If they're in a production role, I want to see somebody who is not afraid to make calls all day, think outside the box. And I hate to say this, but the person that turns me off in the meeting in some regards is probably the better fit. If I get along great with a potential producer candidate, even if they have a book of business, it usually means that they're not the traditional producer role. They fit much more with my personality type. Jordan, would you say that's probably accurate?
I mean, yeah, I haven't thought about it in that perspective, but yeah.
So basically,
Like
if they
we got to know it's the right producer. If you walk out and you're like, I hate him, let's hire him. Like,
we have a new metric to find out if the person is workable. If Jordan likes them because he thinks they're confident and I think they're cocky, then I think that's the winning formula.
Yeah. Huh. I hadn't thought about it that way. Yeah, probably. Okay. Anything else in that?
No, that's about it for me.
Pregunta dos. What are your feelings about employees leveraging social media for both the agency and personally from a branding perspective? What are your thoughts on the overlap when they get into controversial topics?
So I've talked to a lot of agencies about this, talked to a lot of people about this. I actually wish my team was more, some of the service staff engaged on social media to that extent, because I think it would be beneficial for us. So I am all for them leveraging social media to build their own personal brand as well as our brand. And I think there's a place for that, especially for those in a production role. If they are delving into controversial topics, I think it's fine to an extent if they've got a balanced approach. But if they're not, then I think we're going to have issue with it. So if...
Sorry,
I have my ADHD is kicking in. So if I am looking at a producer and let's say with coronavirus, they're taking a contrarian view on one side or the other and not respecting the viewpoints of others and not using it as a launching point for discussion, engagement, then I have a problem with it. If they are using it to spark discussion, I think that's a great thing. I think you don't make any progress, nor are you memorable if you don't have an opinion. So as long as that opinion's informed, you leave room for debate, I'm all for it. I am not at all concerned that if they build their personal brand, that it's somehow a threat to my agency brand.
Right. Yeah.
And so I encourage that. And again, I wish I saw more of that, quite frankly, in my operations. So I'm all for it. I think you have to be thoughtful in your discourse with others, but you also have to have a roadmap, right? Don't just ramble. What is the message you're trying to communicate? Just like you wouldn't just email 100 people randomly and talk about whatever you want. You need to communicate value, demonstrate what the agency can do, what they can do personally, and have a strategy to deploy for a social media campaign versus just being a space where you just throw out all your thoughts on life.
Yeah. I don't know that I disagree much with anything that you said. I do wonder, though, when, like you said, I'm not concerned about it, their persona or whatever being a threat, but more so, again, like if they had a really contrarian view or they just seemed like a jerk about it, that, harming the reputation of our brand, right? So that's where I think it's a bigger one. That's where I'd focus. If someone was one way extreme, like on COVID, demolishing, like let's say someone that COVID was the worst thing ever and was demolishing all the people who weren't staying at home and just tearing them down, or flip it, someone who thought this was really not that big of a deal, just ripping into those who weren't. That's not good for our brand. That might do one thing for their personal brand, but that doesn't help our brand, right? Because it isolates. And we're all about inclusivity, and everyone is welcome at the table, and everyone is valued and has their own opinion and come from different places in life and experience and all of that. But I do agree with Justin. You need to have your opinion. Have it be an informed opinion, put it out there, but leave it as an open conversation, not something that shuts, like let it be a conversation starter, not something that closes one.
And I might add, don't be an idiot, right? If you don't understand and you can't explain the ins and outs, especially when it comes to coverage, don't open your mouth, right? Because if you're going against me, I'm going to take that clip, I'm going to repurpose it, and use it against you if it ever comes up. So that would be my only other thing, is that if you're going to speak on coverage, make sure you're informed, double check. 5 minutes on Google can save you 30 minutes or 40 minutes of pain when everybody else tells you you didn't know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, and I would say one way also to do it, I mean, this wouldn't really be, or you could do it this way, is you can bring something up and say, I'm torn on the topic. I see these data sources saying this, and I see these data sources, and I've been bouncing back and forth. How are you guys feeling about this? I mean, I guess this is going back into how to do the social media thing, but like there are ways that you could do it that you can, again, frame the question to start the conversation without even having a solid place that you're coming from. So there's ways to, get involved. So I think there's a lot of appropriate methodologies that your people can utilize in the social media venue to really take advantage without isolating.
And since we went down the social media path, if you're going to say something, have it be different than everybody else. If 30 people have released a attachment on coronavirus already, and it's all over your social media, you probably don't need to have your own document that you're just editing off of somebody else and spinning off on your own. Mm-hmm. Have a different angle, do something else, provide some value, because nobody likes clickbait. Nobody likes that additional download. That's not the value. Provide something that they can. The way I look at it is everyone wants to be in the know, right? So everybody had a friend with inside information and wants to be included. Give that person, your reader, your person on social media you're contacting, some bit of information that if they go and share that with the agency principal or a potential prospect, that they can win with that information. If you do that, you will win over time.
I would agree.
Are you saying I'm right?
I never say that. It's very, very right.
I agree, and you're right, I think are the same thing, especially if I said it, right?
No. It's, there's an intent behind the words.
Would you say I'm accurate?
I would say I generally agree with you right now.
Yes, I'm right.
Didn't say that. Anyway, I don't know that I have anything else to add of value. I could talk and I could ramble, but we just shamed that.
So I guess we end it there.
If you have drinks for us, Jordan at Total CSR. If you have questions, Justin at TotalCSR.com. And be well. Have a couple beverages. Cheers.